The next thing I would like to discuss is how we should apply the basic nutrition concepts we have learned to our everyday lives. Many of you may have noticed that portion sizes have grown exponentially over the last several years. This slide contains a link that will take you to the CDC's website, where you can take 2 quizzes on portion distortion. It is sobering to see how much our perception of food sizes has changed in the last 20 years. Along with portion sizes, we are also growing. According to the CDC, 33.9% of adults aged 20 years and over are obese, and an additional 34.4% are overweight. As you can see on this map, every single state in the U.S. now has an obesity rate of over 20%, while many now have obesity rates of over 30%. So why does our weight matter? Unfortunately, being overweight can cause a host of various diseases. A few of the more common diseases include diabetes, hypertension, stroke, cardiovascular disease, obstructive sleep apnea, and cancer. The number one way to address the obesity epidemic in this country is to teach ourselves, and for those of you in the health field, our patients, what proper portion sizes should be. This slide gives us an easy way to estimate portion sizes by simply using our hand. When evaluating either ourselves or our patients for overweight or obesity, a simple formula to determine body mass index, or BMI, is used. This is simply a measure of body fat based on height and weight. It applies to both adult men and women. The formula looks like this: kilograms divided by meters squared. BMI categories for adults are as follows. A BMI of between 18.5 and 24.9 is considered normal. Between 25 and 29.9, it is considered overweight, and any BMI of 30 or greater indicates obesity. Note, however, that these categories are not the same for children, and that BMI is not accurate for pregnant women or for those with a larger amount of muscle mass. Take the time to figure out what your BMI is by searching for a simple BMI calculator on Google. There are a number of sites available. Now that you know what your BMI is, you may wonder what your ideal body weight should be. So, how do you figure out healthy weight? The formulas are easy but differ for men and women. For females, we simply take 100 and add 5 pounds for every inch over 5 feet, or subtract 5 pounds for every inch under 5 feet. For men, we take 106 pounds and then add 6 pounds for every inch over 5 feet. We then add or subtract 10% based on bone structure. So, for a 5'10" woman, we would multiply 10 times 5, which would give us 50. We would then add this to the 100 to get 150 pounds. If she has a small frame, we would subtract 10%, or 15 pounds. If, on the other hand, she has a larger frame, we would add 10%, or 15 pounds again. Please take the time right now to figure out what your ideal body weight should be. You may also wonder how many calories you really do need. So, an easy way to estimate your resting metabolic rate is to first multiply your healthy weight by 10 calories. Then you would add more calories to make up for your daily activity. If you are a sedentary person who mainly sits most of the day, you should add between 20 and 40%. For those who are moderately active, engaging in some physical labor, you should add 50%. And then for those who are very active, engaging in strenuous activity for several hours per day, 60 to 80% should be added. After estimating the number of calories you need for a normal day's activity, you will need to add more calories for any purposeful exercise. If, on the other hand, you want to lose weight, you would then need to subtract 20% from your total caloric needs. For example, assuming that the 5'10", 155-pound woman mentioned previously is a nurse who is moderately active in her job, we would multiply 155 by 10 to get a resting metabolic rate of 1,550 calories. We would then add 50% of 1,550 to get a total of 2,350 calories needed per day. The mistake that many people make when figuring out their calorie needs is in overestimating their daily activity. The government has come up with several tools for helping people to learn better eating habits. You may remember the old food pyramids pictured here. The My Plate icon has now replaced the older food pyramids. The goal of the new food icon is to provide clear and simple information based on science to guide the American people to make healthier food choices. You will be using www.choosemyplate.gov to assess your own eating habits in this week's assignment. This site also contains some wonderful educational materials, so it would be worth your time to explore. Every 5 years, the government comes out with updated dietary guidelines for Americans. The last one was done in 2010 and includes 23 key recommendations for the general population and 6 additional key recommendations for specific population groups, such as pregnant women. The recommendations are intended to help people choose an overall healthy diet. The guidelines contain 3 major goals for Americans. 1. Balance calories with physical activity to manage weight. 2. Consume more of certain foods and nutrients such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fat-free and low-fat dairy products, and seafood. 3. Consume fewer foods with sodium, saturated fats, trans fats, cholesterol, added sugars, and refined grains. You can check out the dietary guidelines by going to the website health.gov.